You know, Arturo mentioned earlier that California is the eighth, largest economy in the world, and California didn't get to that space without having invested in education. I know higher education best, so I wanted to tell you a little bit about California's higher education system. I think as Kelly shared earlier, we have the best community colleges, California state universities, and UCs in the entire nation, if not the world. And those are universities that belong to the state that are supported in large part, less so every year, but supported by our tax dollars. Because all of us who live in this state own a piece of those colleges and universities. And so when we take funding away, we're making choices about what we invest or what we don't invest in. Since our inception, we've really been pushing our leaders to think about not how we spend money in higher education, but how can we invest money? Because for every dollar that we spend sending a student to college, we get $3 back. And we get that money back because students that have a college education pay higher taxes, don't get arrested, don't require social services to the extent that folks who don't get a college education have. So I think it's important to talk about some of these discussions as investments in higher education. And if you received a handout, you'll see a letter that we wrote to the governor in support of some of the budget cuts that they've proposed and in opposition to some of the budget cuts that have been put out there. We think that you need to preserve access as much as possible, and in order to do that, you can't cut Cal Grant or eliminate the Cal Grant program, because that is how many low-income students, like myself, are able to go to college. I don't think I would have gone if I hadn't gotten a Cal Grant. So it really makes it accessible so that it's not just students who have money have a chance to go to college. The second thing is we really need to promote some flexibility from all those rules and regulations. And I think now is really an opportunity to really put forward that colleges and universities need some flexibility so that if they are going to be cut, they can locally determine how best to make those cuts based on their knowledge of their institutions and the students that they serve, with some caveats that they serve students and that they produce improved outcomes for students.